Have you figured out your niche? Are you helping adding value to other people's lives? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to Munira's Musings with your host, Munira Zahabi.
Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira. It's Monday on Munira's Musings. How are you, everybody? We are showcasing Zehra Kapasi all the way from Farmington Hills in Michigan. And she is here because she's going to tell us about what started out as an interesting book club episode has turned out into a full-fledged business. How does anybody do that? But before we start the interview, I want to share with you who I am. My name is Munira Zahabi.
Munira Zahabi, the Niche Navigator, is a niche strategist. She is an international author, speaker, and influencer. She is an entrepreneur from Chicago, Illinois. Through her business, she has influenced many people to navigate their niche. She passionately believes that all people have a niche, but are afraid to explore the deep, dark waters within themselves and take a voyage through the raging waters within to find it. Munira's mission is to integrate the concept of nicheology, businessology, and confidenceology.
And I am the host of Munira's Musings. I showcase a person, somebody with a niche who is going to share with you what they do, how they got to where they are today, and how they help other people. So, and why is this is so important to them? If you would like to be a guest on my show, please go ahead and share your information on Facebook Messenger with me, and then we can set you up on a date. And if you like this show, please share and subscribe to our channel. That would be awesome. So without further ado, Zehra Ben, how are you? How are you doing?
Good. How are you? I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am a psychologist and I have been practicing for 20 years. And 2 years ago, I changed this into a full-time and I've been making soap for 24 years. So it started like as a book club. And one of the book club was a soap maker. And she's like, oh, come home, let's make soap. And we were like, okay. And we made soap. I actually at that time didn't think much of it. And I gave it to my sister. A month later, she comes and says, this is the best soap I've used. Where's my other soap? And I'm like, okay. And me being a therapist, I had to go down the rabbit hole and do a little bit more research before I went into it. But what I found is with my work, this was very relaxing. This turned out to be a hobby that really helped me deal with my daytime job. And as I worked with it, I had more and more people ask me for it. And people found a change in themselves.
So let me ask you this, right? So you said a few things that really caught my attention. I know you've told me the story before, but I want to know, you go to a book club. Do you even remember the book that you read?
I don't.
Okay. So
we were so absorbed in making the soap that we all kind of like talked about the book for like maybe 15 minutes. And then we were like, we got to go make the soap. And then we just talked about it during making the soap. But mainly I remember the process of making it.
So you met thinking that you're going to just talk about the book while she was teaching you or showing you what she does as a soap maker.
We all made a batch.
Oh, so she put you to work.
Yes, and we took the batch home.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And okay, so that started out, but then you said you're a trained and practicing psychologist, that you stopped practicing 2 years ago and have now done this full time.
Yes, I'm doing part-time I have not stopped practicing. I have my license and I just see one client a month now versus as many as I was having before, because I was a supervisor and used to monitor 400 cases.
Okay. So it's a change, right? Because
Huge.
from book method, behavior analysis, you go into doing something that you're doing, working with your hands now.
Yes.
Why did this change happen? Why did you decide, okay, forget psychology, let me just go into soap making? Because I know you said it's therapeutic, but what else?
Well, besides it being therapeutic, it is what people came to me for. Like, hey, can you help me? Or hey, I really enjoy this. This is one of, and I found joy in it. Just plain joy. And knowing that this was so internally changing for me, and it brought so much pleasure while working it, and it just made me happy, and it still does. I mean, 2 years full time, and it hasn't stopped. It just creates love for me, and I love. And part of it, I think I'm always a people's person. So when I go to shows and I go to crafts and I talk to people, they tell me their stories, they tell me where they are coming from. So I think part of my background, even though I left psychology full time, it's like part of it is still there with me.
You
And I
haven't
think
actually left it.
yeah, and this brings me more connections with people. More and more people tell me about them.
So you took some soap home, you gave it to your sister, you didn't use it.
No, I used maybe one bar, but I didn't like really pay attention to it as much as she had the whole batch.
So this, I'm sure people on my listeners are listening and they're talking about the fact that there's soap out there, right? I know there's stores out there who sell soap. So we have the Dove soap, and I mean, if you go to the soap aisle in a supermarket, you can see thousands of soaps.
Yes.
And then if you go on the internet, there's even more. So why would anybody buy your soap? What's the difference?
So one, it is handmade, but two, there is a big difference in handcrafted soap. The difference is that when I make it, I am letting it cure for a month. So the glycerine is staying in the soap. It is not evaporating. And what happens with commercially bought soap is they want to sell it in a day, right? So they are going to vat dry it. When they vat dried, all the glycerine is pouring out of the soap, and then they sell that glycerine for lotion making. While the soap that you are buying with me, the glycerine is in the soap, so your skin cannot dry because it is in there.
Okay, so you said it's therapeutic and people come to you. How do you market yourself?
So there are a few ways. I am on Instagram. My handle is Rose Best LLC. So I do through that. Then I do a little, videos and clips on Facebook. I also have a website on Shopify, which is rosebest.com. And so those are the places. And then I write blogs sometimes once in a while to kind of like help people understand, for example, benefits of turmeric or why you should have certain things, how you should read the labels. Because when you buy a soap or a body butter or a lotion, sometimes you only see the INCI names, right? You see the chemical names, but you don't know what does that mean if they don't write in the bracket the name that the common name is. So just to teach people like how to be aware of what you're holding in your hand. For example, in my community, you can't use lard, right? But then you can see that on a soap. On very, very famous companies, you will see lard and tallow as one of the ingredients. And if you're not paying attention to it, you don't know what that means. And so I just try to bring awareness in those ways.
Okay, so 2 years into this full time, you've not only made soap, but you make other things. Can you talk about that?
Yes. So besides soap, I do body butters. I do face cream. I do facial toners. I actually have a fun story. I had a woman just come to me like 3 weeks ago when I was in one of the markets, and she said, I went to the spa and this lady told me, I usually push for a facial, but I don't think you need it. And she's been using the face cream and facial toner for 6 months. And she was so excited to come and tell me that. But yeah, I make other products like I do sugar scrubs, and I do something that is not as available everywhere. I do lip scrubs, and people really tend to love them. And I do lip balms. And I've been doing lip balms for a long time, but lip scrub is something new that I have added on. And I make a leave-in hair oil conditioner. And then I do something that's called aroma sachets. It's just to put in your drawer so everything smells good. To me, scents bring memories. And many times over and over, I'll hear those stories from people. Oh my God, this reminds me of something. This reminds me of my grandma. This reminds me of X, Y, and Z years ago. And this one lady yesterday, I was at a show and she said, I do not know what this memory is, but it's a happy memory in my childhood. So I have to get this. She said, I'll figure it out. But so sense and what you're surrounded with is really important. And so I'm an alcohol-free company. So even the fragrances I buy, I make sure it's from an alcohol-free company. So for me, that makes a huge, I choose my oils and stuff very carefully because I know it can have an effect on someone.
You mentioned turmeric. Turmeric is a big thing right now that everybody's taking. Even Dr. Oz is promoting it, that
Yes.
it helps it. And we've known, because we've come from the land where turmeric has been one of the ingredients in our cooking. We know that this is something that heals from inside out because it's an anti-inflammatory agent, but not only
Right.
that, it helps with other things as well. So why would I use a soap instead of just eating it? Doesn't it help me when I'm eating it? Do I need to use it in my soap as well?
So yes, it helps you with ingestion, definitely. Especially, we've been taught all the remedies with turmeric internally, but externally, what it does is it brightens your skin. So it makes your skin more smooth. It helps make it clean. It helps make your face brighter. Also, it is even though soap is a washout product, right? So it will wash out, but it does bring benefits. Like when I make my neem soap, right? I put neem oil in it and I put neem powder in it, but that is because it's antibacterial. But not only that, it has certain properties for certain skins. It clears up spots and dark areas, and it just brings a better glow. Now I have to say, it is in the soap, but it's also in the face mask, which gives you more benefits when it's in a face mask, because you are actually applying it, but you're letting it stay for 15-20 minutes and then you're washing it out. So it just depends on what the usage is. But yes, there is still benefit. Turmeric is one of those things that has benefit external and internal. And if you have like pain in your hands, or I don't sell it, but I do tell people, if you have pain, then make a connotation with turmeric and neem and ashwagandha powder and apply it to wherever you've had a swelling, and that will reduce with like 20 minutes of keeping it bandaged in there. And so the herbs have so much benefit. I mean, if you start going down there is so much more that I can say, but it has benefits, yes, externally too.
So are you selling on Amazon?
I'm not selling on Amazon, but I do have my own website that I'm selling on, which is rosebest.com. And then I get lot of like calls from people, or people DM me on Instagram, and then I take care of them that way. And I ship all over US. So I have clients in Arizona, I have clients in California. I just sent a whole package to Texas, Chicago. You are one of my clients. It's like I have clients in places, and in India, I get requests all the time. Is there some way you can send this here? And I haven't figured out shipping. So it's one of the international markets I want to take my products, is Dubai and India. But it is something that I am working on. But those are the two avenues right now, just with Instagram and with my website. Okay. And then a lot of shows on my website. There's a tab says where to find us. And you see all shows all over US, all over Michigan. I've done shows in Las Vegas. I've done in Orange County, California. I have done in Ohio. So I do travel when it's possible for me.
Okay. So, you've been a very successful psychologist. And before we end here, I want you to tell our viewers 3 things that most of our people are on the sidelines. They either have a hobby, they know how to do something, they haven't started a business yet. I want to start a business, but I don't know how to start it. All those good stuff, right? But it takes work to get to where you are today, right? You said
Yes.
something in the beginning, I don't know if anybody caught it, but you said 24 years. And I see you're sitting in this workshop thing. There's products in the back and looks like this is your workshop. So
Yes.
this is obviously where you want to be when you're making soap. Now, you make everything by hand, but what is it, the success principles? How do you you define success in different ways. So tell me how you define success, and tell us 3 things that what people should do if they just have an idea.
So I define success in finding joy in life. And if what you do gives you happiness, if what you do gives you joy, of course, you make money while doing that, but that should not be your goal. Like for me, when I first decided I'm going full time as a psychologist, one of the things I saw was hygiene was an issue for kids. So find a purpose. Why is it that you're doing the business? So for me, donating soap is a huge part of my business. And so I donate 70 travel soaps every month to homeless shelters. And I actually, some of it I donated right here in Detroit. There's a company called Corner Shower and Laundry, and people come and take free showers. Homeless people come and take free showers. So I donate my soap there knowing it's directly being used by the consumers. But find a purpose why you want to do your business. And once you have that motivates you itself to do more business because you want to give more. And so that really helps with that. 3 things. I think one of the things that you have to, when you start something, any business that you start, is this long-term pleasure for you? Is this something that will sit with you and you will be comfortable? Or is it just something you're looking to get quick methods of doing something that won't last for a long time? Yes. And for 24 years, I am surprised that I never felt the need to leave it. Never. It was always like, even in a small scale, I'm still doing it. Versus now, of course, I'm doing it on a larger scale. I make around 120 bars every other week. So I'm making a lot more soap than what I would have, years ago, what I was making. But the joy for doing it is still there. The meeting the people, the giving and when people call me and tell me things on Google, you can see like I have like 60 reviews right now and each are 5-star. So, the knowing that is important. Also, when you start, try to find a coach, because to me, that is important. If you find somebody who can help you in the field, like I have a coach who is a soap maker. So she is find it in your industry, or find somebody who can help you move into that industry, because you want to get people who've experienced, done it, and been there, because then you can grow and they can tell you how to grow. And have a coach that's for your personal life, somebody that can teach you how to balance everything in life and not be overwhelmed, and not think that this is my business is everything or my family is everything. They both work hand to hand. And for me, that's very, very important. I think doing that is wonderful if you can. And I think if you think through it, I think having all those 3 things in life, having a purpose, having a coach, having things that are in place, and if you know that, and especially marketing, if you don't have the marketing money, you're not going to go far. So having those little things in hand, and slowly, you don't have to rush. I always tell people it will come to you. It took me 22 years of making and saying, okay, I'm ready to do it full time, and that's okay. For 22 years, I didn't regret not doing it full time. So it's okay. And then you just build yourself from there, but build good connections and networking. I think that makes a huge difference.
So I have to ask you this, right? Are you a family woman? Do you have kids?
Oh, yes. I have a 19-year-old son and a 16-year-old daughter. And my husband right now working from home, even though he works in Fort, with COVID and everything is at home. So we as a family function all together. And
Okay,
he's in college, she's in school, she's in 10th grade, he's in second year of college.
awesome. So this has been a wonderful, you gave us the 3 tips. You said, find your joy, find a purpose, and, find a coach. 3 finds, right? Do something with your life and take that to the next level, because that's something it's going to pivot. That's what the word
Yes.
of is in the coaching industry. They talk about pivoting, right? And where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram, Rose Best LLC. You can find me on Facebook, which is Rose Best Calmer LLC. And then you can find me on my website, rosebest.com. You can also call me at 248-943-3905. I love talking, finding out what is it that you need. I love doing, I get a lot of like wedding shower and baby shower gift ideas. I personalize things. So people love that it is natural, it is halal, it is things that are made with ingredients that are alcohol free. There's no SLS, there's no parabens. So I get a lot of calls for custom orders and I just recently, there was a woman whose mother likes black raspberry. So we made a basket with everything black raspberry. The soap, the body butter, you name it, massage oil, hair oil, not hair oil, but there was like the room spray and there were aroma sachets, but it was everything black raspberry. And I did it. So I would, there are many ways to contact me. You can even email me on rosebest@gmail.com.
Awesome. So there you go, folks. Now you know that this is a lady what started out as a session, has gone into a full-fledged business. And what she wants to do is she wants to help you promote your stuff too. So she gave us the 3 finds. But if you're standing on the sideline and you're thinking, how am I even going to do this? At least start. That's the whole thing. Everything requires execution. And if you're not executing, then you haven't yet taken the first step. John Maxwell, who is my coach and mentor, he says that, 4 frogs are thinking of jumping in the water. And how many have jumped in the water? Well, none of them, because they're still thinking about it. So if you are like those frogs who are standing and not jumping, you don't want to do that. You just want to start. You can be good at anything, or go find people who are good at something and you can learn from them, because Zehra didn't know what she was doing when she went to make a soap. I would have gone and just made a soap, but I wouldn't have thought about making it as a business, right? 24 years. So, success comes in small bites, but it doesn't have to come overnight. If you are one of those people standing on the sideline, just take the first step. Secondly, if you'd like to be on our show, please send me a message. I would love to have you. I want to know your story. And if you would please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We're everywhere where you hear your favorite podcasts. Go ahead and listen to this, share with us, share with your friends, and see you next Monday when we have another guest. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.